16-year-old murdered his mother. Shocking, but take a look at this.
17-year-old pled guilty to first-degree murder, abuse of a dead body, and tampering with evidence.
Gregory Ramos strangled his mother to death in DeBary in 2018 with the assistance of two pals. He attempted to stage a burglary as a diversion.
A little over 2 years earlier, the then 15-year-old claimed he came home from school to find his mom's empty car running in the driveway.
Ramos thought he could hide the truth by pretending to call 911 and working with the police in his cunning scheme to hide his crime.
911, where's your emergency?
I just got home and my house is completely trashed. It looks like someone broke in the side door.
The police arrived immediately at the scene. Ramos showed them around the house, listing all the things that were missing.
Over here, and I had an extension cord with an alarm clock, and then I had my $1,000 computer here.
It's the boy trying to hide something. After further interrogation, the shocking truth was revealed.
When police questioned the teen, they discovered inconsistencies in his story. Eventually, Ramos admitted to strangling his mother the night before after they fought over the boy's slipping grades.
In an attempt to cover his crime, he buried the body. The court witnessed emotional scenes of Ramos's grandmother.
Dear Father, in the name of your Son Jesus, I ask you to keep his soul pure and close to you. And Father, please protect them from any bodily harm.
In an arrangement reached last month, Ramos pleaded guilty to the allegations and received a prison sentence for that and other offenses.
I want to thank you today, Your Honor, for letting me take the stand before you and make my statement. I'm not standing here today to make excuses for myself. I'm here to honor and remember my mother. Not only have I stolen my mother from myself, but from everybody else as well. Because of my actions, I will never get to truly know my mom.
How far will people go for money? To an extent where they forget their kith and kin. While this case might be a perfect example of how blinding greed can be. Little did Joel Michael Guy and his wife know Thanksgiving dinner would shatter their lives.
He's charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the vicious killing and dismemberment of his own parents.
The police inquired immediately after a missing complaint was filed by Lisa's employer.
I have an employee that has not reported for work today and highly unlike her. Can somebody go by and check on them?
The details the police found were shocking.
Get one. Good, Jeremy?
His close relatives shared their remorse through an open statement, revealing how the incident has traumatized them for life.
Next day after we buried Joel and Lisa, my mother died. She truly died of a broken heart. The impact of this crime is notorious. We will never, ever be the same.
Here's how his sister shared her emotions.
I am Joel and Lisa's daughter. You'll never know what it is like to have to tell your children that their grandparents have been chopped up and put in acid.
The reason behind the murder was shocking.
His parents had been supporting the 28-year-old for years and recently told Guy they were cutting him off financially. Police believe Guy was angry, hoped to cash in on his parents' life insurance policy.
All the evidence the police gathered pointed the finger at Mr. Guy.
The jury was shown surveillance footage of the defendant with a hand wound buying products, apparently to help dispose of the bodies.
She paid for the tubs that she and her husband disintegrated in.
Multiple security cameras captured Guy Jr. purchasing the supplies he would later use to murder and attempt to dissolve his parents.
He'd spent Thanksgiving with his parents, made charges to his father's credit card after the murders.
Soon he received the punishment for the heinous crime he committed.
Guy was sentenced to 2 life sentences plus 4 additional years for his treatment of the remains. He won't be eligible for parole until the year 2071, He'd be 83 years old.
The family was stunned when they came to know that their daughter tested positive for COVID. Was she really sick? Or was COVID-19 used as a tool to hide something fishy? The story goes like this.
In March 2020, David Anthony tried to convince his estranged wife, Gretchen, to travel with him to Costa Rica, where he believed they could escape the pandemic.
The police were left with no pieces of evidence to lead the investigation. That was when they decided to make a call to Gretchen's ex-husband, David Anthony.
I spoke with Gretchen today.
You spoke with Gretchen today?
Yeah. Gretchen is receiving treatment for the COVID virus.
A breakthrough in the case when the surveillance footage was recovered from Gretchen's home.
In surveillance footage recovered from Gretchen's home, a dark figure can be seen lurking on her patio. Moments later, out of the camera's view, Gretchen makes a muffled cry for help.
Yes, and the masked face of the culprit was revealed.
In the garage, a man wearing rubber gloves can be seen loading items into Gretchen's car. Investigators pull this freeze frame. It is David Anthony, and authorities believe he's just murdered his estranged wife.
Soon he was taken into custody. His reaction to this action might surprise you.
There's a warrant for your arrest, and I'm going to explain that when we get back to that. Excuse me? What? Homicide. For who?
The further part of the investigation was dramatic. He tried hard to conceal the truth throughout the questioning session.
And what's most important to us right now is to find out where she is.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to tell you where she is.
Okay.
But I don't have that information. I'm going to have to ask her.
You're going to have to ask her.
But the drama ended when...
In exchange for disclosing the location of Gretchen's body, the state would lower his charge from first to second-degree murder, which would take the possibility of the death penalty off the table.
He soon confessed to his crime.
Admitting he dumped Gretchen's body in a wooded area near her home after stabbing her to death inside her garage. Police investigated the location and found Gretchen's remains.
Gretchen's sister broke down in the courtroom, blaming Anthony for the monstrous act he had committed.
Say some words to the defendant, whose name and being are not worthy of the air we all breathe.
Soon after the trial, he came forward to give a bizarre explanation for his deeds.
When actions become detached from consequences, that's when madness occurs.
You will certainly be perplexed hearing his explanation.
And violation saw the COVID pandemic as an end-of-the-world prophecy, an Armageddon that I felt compelled to escape no matter the cost.
Soon he was awarded the most deserving punishment.
Anthony was sentenced to 38 years in prison after pleading guilty to the second-degree murder and kidnapping of Gretchen Anthony.
Speeding can be a serious offense, but with the offender trying to escape the courtroom amidst a dozen police officers and attorneys, the situation just got worse.
Whoa, where are you going? No.
Things took a turn when additional domestic violence charges were found against Wright.
I need you to calm down.
We always verify.
Yeah, man.
If it's dismissed, you're good. If not, I'm gonna take care of the custody.
But Wright was adamant. He had his excuses to get out.
If it's dismissed, you're good. If not, I'm gonna take care of the custody.
I need to call my mama if I'm gonna get arrested because this is something new to me because this is the only thing that I was supposed to go to court for.
The judges looked into the matter to find that the charges were still active. That was when the drama began in the courtroom.
Eventually, the court confirms that Wright's warrant is still active. Because the warrant's active, deputies moved to take Wright into custody.
Wait, sir, you need to calm down, okay?
While the cops proceeded to take Wright into custody, he did something no one could have imagined. The police immediately got the situation under control.
The two deputies quickly subdue the defendant.
You're alone.
The struggle lasted until the cops used extreme measures.
So a deputy deploys his taser.
Wright was removed, but he was not happy with the way he was treated. Though neither Wright nor the officers were injured during the scuffle, he was charged with serious offenses.